If you've been a subscriber, you've seen a lot of podcasts on this channel, but not many of you have seen our first few episodes. They were awkward, slow, and a little bit forced, but after 150 of them, somewhere along the way, I found my niche and style to make for an all-around better product.
Oh, that's so sick. Hey, just give him a second here. How about that?
This video is about making sure you don't need 150 episodes to feel confident in your own work. First things first, you need a name, and more than that, a brand. Don't overthink this, but there are some things to be aware of that could be very important. You want a name that, first of all, gives a basic description of your content so people can know what to expect. It also should pique their interest to tap and click on your show. It shouldn't restrict any future plans or pinhole you into a specific kind of content. And obviously you want it to be unique to your skill set and experience. D1 Rejects was almost called D2 Dorm Talk because it started back in my freshman year dorm room in 2020. But I knew eventually I'd outgrow that name, and D1 Rejects certainly draws more attention. D1R is all about small college football, but my name allows for me to branch out to other sports in the future if I choose to do so. When you decide on a name, you're going to also need some kind of logo, and once again, don't stress over this. This can be changed multiple times down the line without too much hassle. I've done it myself multiple times. You can try and come up with one yourself. You can use a logo generating website or pay a freelancer to make one for you. Fiverr is a great option for looking for creative services at just about any price range. Okay, now let's talk about the content of your show. Most shows can be divided into one of two categories. There are news-based shows and there are also topic-based shows. That's not anything official, just my way of thinking about it. The difference for me is that while a topic-based show can sit down, record a bunch of episodes in one sitting, a news show is reporting on things that are currently happening, and as such, doesn't really have that luxury. For example, my podcast focuses on all things in the world of D2, D3, and NAIA football. So we talk about all the most recent happenings in the football world and bring on people that are involved with them, especially during the season. If our podcast instead focused on the mindset of college athletes, we could schedule a bunch of interviews with different college athletes, record those, and post them basically whenever we want it, maybe a season at a time. Which kind of show you'd like to have is up to you. Definitely advantages, disadvantages to both. Now, how are we going to get this show out there? I'd advise make a free Google account with an email attached so you can create a YouTube channel and also have that email to link to any social accounts you might want to create to promote your show in the future. You also want to make an account on Spotify for podcasters, which is probably the easiest way to distribute your RSS feed and get your show on all the big platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all really good options for social channels, but it depends on your target audience. Most younger football players are all on Twitter. That's where they post highlights, they message coaches, and do all that kind of recruiting stuff. Maybe your audience isn't the same as ours and predominantly is on Instagram or even Facebook. That's what you have to find out. Now that we've got that all situated, it's time for the hard part, buying the gear. Really shouldn't be that daunting of an idea. You can create podcasts and great content with almost no budget. I'm going to break this portion of the video into two different pieces as well. You'll get why a little bit later. But first, let's talk as if you'll be recording the podcast alone or perhaps maybe with some friends connected virtually. In this case, it doesn't really make sense to buy a big audio board with a bunch of inputs or 4 tiny cameras. As a beginner, you should invest in a quality budget USB microphone if you can afford it. Most are less than $100. Or if that money's a problem, you can use the microphone on your phone, like the voice memo app on iPhone. That'll surprise you with the quality that it has. As far as video goes, you could certainly get yourself a decent webcam for around the same price, or use a mirrorless camera along with a capture card for the best footage at a price. It all depends on what you're willing to spend. If you're planning on having multiple people in the same room or area together recording your podcast, then it might make more sense to get some kind of audio interface with a few XLR microphones so you can control all of them easily and have access to really high-level audio. These Rode Pod mics are about $100 a piece. They work great. Along with the original Rodecasters, what we use here at D1 Rejects, it's a bit more pricey, but they're cheaper options out there. Video-wise for this kind of setup, unless you're made of money, it makes much more sense to go the webcam route and purchase a few that you can easily connect to the USB ports of your computer or even laptop. And finally, you're going to need some decent headphones. I use these guys from One Audio. I got them online about $30. They're fantastic. When it comes to the actual recording and production of your podcast, open broadcasting software is a great tool for beginners and experts alike because it's free. Inside of OBS, you can create multiple scenes using different camera angles and switch between them while you're recording the podcast using keys on your keyboard. This takes out the need for editing together all of the footage after you're done. It's going to save you hours each episode. You can also insert images, titles, and other custom elements to customize your show and give it a unique look, all while being able to manipulate it in real time. Pre-producing content for your shows can also be a great way to go. That way you can pull up different videos or animations while you're recording and once again, save yourself some editing time. Now, I know I'm probably getting a little ahead of myself, but once you do record that first episode and get it posted, now you have to promote it and get people to tune in. Posting short clips or graphics on social media is a great start, and repurposing portions of your conversation for separate clips on YouTube also works really well for bringing in new viewers. The hardest thing to do when you're starting your podcast is just putting yourself out there. But as long as you're passionate about what you're creating, there's no reason to not go and set some tough goals and push yourself to make great content. Subscribe here, follow us on the socials to see more from D1 Rejects, and to catch future tips and tricks about making content overall. Please comment down below, let me know what video I should make next when it comes to podcasting or making content for any medium. Thank you so much for watching.